Are you wearing headphones, Jade?
Don't talk to me.
Hey guys, it's
Oh my
Melody.
gosh, no. Just enter the mansion.
Just enter it.
Yeah.
We're entering. There is a house. That sits beyond dark, dense woods. Like the world fading into view after a dream. That old mansion appears before you. Without realizing it, you instinctively accept as truth the events unfolding before you. The house lives in perpetuity, in amalgam, fates of its generation.
No one knows who said it first. What? French.
That
The mansion was cursed.
this music is so pretty.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite picture?
Oh my gosh, just let it play. And it's the stained glass window.
The house of Fata Morgana. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Have mercy on me, O Father. And cast their souls into an eternal damnation. I was looking down on a corpse. My own corpse. I was afflicted with great despair. At the sight of being dragged into a place of my crucifixion, my soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me, and so I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacle that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back for you. That I must return to that house. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrives there once more.
Your consciousness wavering, like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. With each new breath, feeling gradually return to your fingers. Master! You could hear the pattering of rain from somewhere. Master? And the sound of a crackling fire. Wake up, Master! Wake up! When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit.
Why do they have fireplace noises, but they didn't make sound effects for the creaking floor?
I don't know, they're doing their best.
I have an issue. I had to make my own creaking noises.
It's better for us, I think. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There was only the pitter-patter of rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. Oh, splendid! You have finally woken. Someone called out to you. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. Good morning, Master.
She's so pale and creepy.
Let her be.
So we have our first option. Do you want to say good morning?
I mean, do you want to be a punk? Your choice.
Good morning. Good morning.
What is the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy.
I'm so drowsy.
Come now, you must gather yourself.
Dude, I just died. What do you expect from me?
I mean, does she know that?
No, probably not, but I have an issue, okay?
Though I am glad to hear your voice. I have simply been waiting so long for this moment. Tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whenever that may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time has finally arrived. You were perplexed. The woman who looked like a maid seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her.
Yeah, who is this lady?
A maid. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start start your day with? I have some wonderful... No.
You're okay, Jade.
I have some wonderful chamomile leaves, if you would like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since we last met? Tell me, Master, what would you like?
I don't even know my tastes right now. I'm like trying to grasp my situation. I'd rather you not ask me questions.
I know. I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited.
You think?
But I hope you will be sympathetic, Master. I am just utterly elated that I could see you again. The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted that you had awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age.
How old is she?
I don't know, like 1,000.
Why do you assume like 1,000? She doesn't even
Look
have
at her,
gray hair.
she's like a vampire.
She's a vampire.
She's beautiful.
Yes, because her pasty white skin makes her a
Okay,
vampire.
well now you're just being mean. Or perhaps life was a more appropriate word than energy.
I could see that.
But the gloom extended beyond the maid. It seemed to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace, and the rose engravings on the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sense of claustrophobia overpowered that familiarity. It seemed as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet.
Are you hearing like this low rumble in your ear? Or like...
So are we trying to read through this, or are we trying to be like, haha, fireplace?
No, like I hear something in the background, like it sounds like a wind or something.
I mean, your window's open.
No, not... It's in my ear, it's in my right ear.
Oh,
Maybe it's just my headphones.
it might be your heads.
My heads?
Because I mean, like, blood's pulsing through and whatever. Oh my! You do not know who I am? Do you not know who you are either? That is quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve? The woman's face was pale, almost as though she... A faint chill ran down your spine. You are the master of this house, though it would seem you have no memories of such. Quite the dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you are no different than a stranger to me, no? Indeed, you have returned. But from where? That I cannot say. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are. The freshly awakened gears in your head began to turn as you mulled things over. The maid had called you the master of this house, but without a single mirror in the room, you had no way of seeing what you looked like. Unable to decide, you reflexively nodded. Let us be off, then. And fear not, I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. Your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma? Miasma. As though a black miasma hovered within. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness. Neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. There were no chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded through the mansion. After some time, you arrived at a double door, the glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into a dull gray. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side. Though it is in a state you now see it, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay beyond these doors. The owner of the time enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across the world. At its grandest, it seemed every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful era of splendor and prosperity? I very much hope it is to your liking, master. The maid opened the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the doors. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows.
Whole new world.
Don't do this to me. The first door.
$16.03.
The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. The period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction, as cumbersome principles of old came crashing down. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of these antiquated precepts, the people seemed to hark back to the more poetic, expressive ways of old. They took these newly blossoming emotions in hand, and with them they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowering sense of aesthetic. War would break out not 20 years from then, plucking the ripened era from the tree of history. But that is of no concern to us now. At the time, it was still what people referred to as the Golden Age, a period of furor for all who were there. Now, let us take a slight detour. No, we will not be changing locations. This is a tale about the mansion, from the beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time. Say, about 8 years into the past? A very wealthy family lived in the house then. The mother and father, brother and sister all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair.
Wait, what color is flaxen?
I mean, they're blonde kids.
I never heard of that term, actually.
Yeah, me neither. I think of flax seeds, but, that's wrong.
Right?
Especially if hair of the pale yellow color.
Oh.
Alright.
Interesting. So it's, more pale than...
So a washed out blonde? Just pale. It's a pale blonde.
So that's not like the blonde we have now, but
No.
like a pale of it.
Yeah. So if yellow went goth.
Alright, alright, I'll take that. Okay, anyway, back to it.
By contrast, mine was the color of a wet crow. Don't be so harsh on yourself.
Honestly.
See, there I am, standing round, looking rather a fool. I was happy back then.
You're not now?
Apparently not.
Wait, but you were so happy to see me. What?
I mean, it was a different time.
Okay. I guess she was happy in a different way. Now she's lonely, and now she has us. So now she's happy. I guess. I don't know.
Next slide, please.
We'll find out.
And what reason did I have not to be afforded the opportunity to attend such a beautiful home? So I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely, if you would. That soft, fleeting sound that can only be a young girl singing. Can you hear it?
La 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 la. La 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 la.
The girl you see, cheerfully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird, was called Nellie. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nellie was deeply fond of the house's garden, and she would often spend her afternoons there. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in that garden. They were given the utmost care, and even had their thorns removed. So young Nellie would not hurt herself, naturally. The light brown-haired girl carefully plucked petals from the roses, gathering them up as she sang.
Wait, now it says light brown, but before it was...
Just whatever, man. Spoiler, her hair gets blonde later.
Alright.
Her voice was like music, played by fairies. Nay, the sight of her was like an angel descended from heaven. Oh dear, please don't look at me like that. I admit I was being rather fanciful. But what is a woman if not fanciful?
I feel
know
like that laugh will always get us.
I don't know how to do. Like, I don't want to be like. It's weird. I don't know what to do.
I agree.
She's creepy anyway. Anyway, have fun.
Little bird, singing night and day. From your little birdie heart, sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little birds. And even when the sun comes up, Oh, dearest Mel, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening?
Nellie was, as a matter of fact, the only visitor to the rose garden that day. She always came with her older brother, Mel. The young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of a tree reading a book. As I am sure you are aware, in their time, books could not yet be mass-produced. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. I presume he had borrowed it from the church. The book having passed through many hands over years, visibly worn, but I suppose that just speaks for its importance. It was, in fact, a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Mel was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So at the time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced texts.
Oh, dearest Mel, please!
The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hands, she carried a large pile of rose petals. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the trees, the boy still did not notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks, thrust out her slender arms, and let the petals fall. Ah!
Look, your head's covered in roses, Mel!
Oh, Nellie, you got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to let it get dirty.
It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. And besides, flowers won't get the book dirty.
I must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit?
While waiting for you, dearest Mel. I waited, and you didn't so much as glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book.
Wow, that soon?
That soon. Mother says girls grow up fast.
Haha, she may be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult.
That's not true! I'll still play with you even when I'm a grown-up.
But grown-ups don't play, Nellie.
Fine! I'll stay a child forever then.
Good luck with that. Didn't you just say you were about to grow up?
You're so mean. Mel.
I'm sorry. Please don't pout, my little lady. How about this? To make it up to you, I'll play whatever you want today.
Really? Do you mean it? I want to play make-believe.
Make-believe?
Make-believe. I will be a princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dearest Mel, will be my valiant knight. And then you turn into a prince when you rescue me.
A knight can become a prince? Impressive.
They can! Knights and princes both have to be charming, so of course they can. Which is why it must be you, dearest Mel. No one else can be my prince or my knight.
While he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed, as his rose-cheeked sister proclaimed proddingly, I am certain he was smiling on the inside. After a few moments, he meekly knelt, bringing himself to eye level with Nellie, and gently stroked her soft hair.
Does that mean he's like 2 times taller than her?
I mean, do we want to tell their age difference? All right, then. You're my princess, Nellie.
And not just anyone's princess, dearest Mel, but yours alone. So, don't be anyone else's prince but mine, okay?
Nellie. Jeez, my princess is quite the fauna.
Is that bad? Does that make you dislike me?
Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nellie. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dear princess.
Hee hee. I love you, dearest Mel. You'll always be my prince, forever and ever.
Her mood quite improved. Nellie began humming the melody of the song she had forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress out from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Oh, Nellie, don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade of the tree, and began chasing after Nellie. They were picturesque siblings, brimming with hope. And at this time in their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see it, though, the pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they can come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow, impartial and without exception. And as such, everyone's childhood comes to an end. Be that as it may, does time flow at the same speed for each individual? Let us take a trip down the river of time. I would be very much delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately we cannot. Please do not let go of my hand, Master. The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale.
Can you start that over? I don't know if I was laughing in the background.
This is Abigail, right? Still, because it's quotes?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Look, your head's